All right, we are live and broadcasting myself from Columbia, South Carolina. I have with me today Rob Beardsley. And Rob, tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about your background. Also, tell us where you're from as well, where you're sitting right now.
Sure, yeah, I'm coming to everyone from Silicon Valley in California. And like Dan said, my name is Rob Beardsley. And my background, I grew up in real estate. My dad's been involved in real estate for 30 years. So I got to see him doing development, sales, investing. And so for me, don't mind this guy in the back, package room. Um, so I got to experience all facets of real estate and investing and sales. And for me, I really gravitated towards the analysis and the numbers. I was a spreadsheet geek and still am. And that's where my passion lies, and really excel at trying to identify opportunities where other people don't see them, as well as how to structure the deal to benefit as many people as possible.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I really wanted you to be at this event, is because you do have quite the depth of knowledge when it comes to underwriting and a lot of skills when it comes to that. And we have a panel that we put together at the summit, and you can find more information out about the summit by just going to MFINSummit.com. And you're going to be on a panel that has to do with underwriting with some pretty high-level underwriters. So I know you don't know who's on that panel yet, because I haven't told you. But are you nervous at all?
I actually didn't know that, but maybe I should be nervous. I'm really excited about the summit. I think it's going to be a great opportunity for myself and for everyone involved to learn a lot in a condensed period of time.
Yeah. Well, tell us a little bit about why you decided to go into multifamily real estate.
Sure. So multifamily, as many people know, is everyone needs it. It's not too terribly complex, so you can wrap your head around it, and it just makes sense. The demographic shifts and trends for the long term make it a really strong investment. And the two components of a great investment are cash flow or current yield, as well as the potential for capital appreciation. So me personally, I'd never want to base an investment solely on buying low and selling high. And that's the beauty of multifamily, is it's continuously throwing off cash flow every single month, regardless of what the underlying value of the asset is.
So that's a little bit of a teaser for the event coming up that you're going to be speaking at. What would you say, just right off the cuff, and I know I'm kind of putting you on the spot here, but what would you say is probably the number one thing that you see that a lot of people who are underwriting for these larger, even some of this, just underwriting in general, what is one of the biggest mistakes or things that you see that kind of makes you go, I don't see how that works, kind of things?
Sure, that's a great question, and that gets me pretty excited, because I'm definitely passionate about this topic of underwriting and making mistakes that many people miss. And so for me, I think the biggest mistake that's most specific to what's going on right now is all of the emphasis on value add deals. And value add deals, as you know, have a compressed cap rate, because you're buying a property that is underperforming and thus has lower income, and the business plan is to then increase the income. So let's say they're buying a property that's potentially even a 4.5 cap, with the business plan to get it to a 7. However, when they underwrite their exit cap rate at what the cap rate they'll sell at, they're mistakenly not thinking that they're going to be selling a stabilized property, not a value add property. And thus they don't widen their exit cap rate enough to compensate for that. And so that's what gets people, without even realizing it, being more aggressive with their exit assumptions.
Wow. Well, I can definitely see the downside on not looking at it the right way, because you go to talk to an investor about the deal and projecting returns, and then you get into the deal and realize that you projected it the wrong way, and might not get the returns that you're expecting. I think one of the nice things about multifamily is that if you look at most of the deals that are put together and you follow them full cycle, you see that a lot of these deals, even though there might have been some flaws in some of the underwriting, it seems to be a fairly forgiving asset class, for the most part. So I think that's definitely something that also is another benefit of the multifamily arena and the multifamily space versus a smaller, single family or whatever. So obviously you got this event coming up in January. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for you to be there. I want to have you kind of tell the listeners a little bit about why you think it's important for them to come to an event like this.
Yeah, so that's a great question. I travel around the country, as do you, going to these types of events that are in-person networking opportunities, in-person conferences to learn and meet people. And that requires a lot of money, time to travel, and it's a lot of effort. So the beauty of this event is that we can all be sitting at home in our underwear if we want and network with high-level people from across the country. And like people might not know or may do know, everyone's contact information will be shared. So that way you can reach out to anyone who you met at the conference.
Well, and that's one of the reasons why I did it is because you go to an event like this. I say you go to you purchase a ticket to this event and you're watching it and you're like, well, how am I going to do networking? We're making it possible for you to network at this event. So we're putting together a closed Facebook group just for the attendees. If you buy a VIP ticket, we also have a VIP closed Facebook page for you to network with some high-level investors. And then anybody who comes to the event, if you get access to all the contact information, name and email, so you can continue that networking after the fact. And then obviously with the Multifamily Investor Nation group, we have meetup groups all across the country. I have 34 of them now and growing. And so we're working with our co-organizers to create some watch parties to get together with other people locally in your market to be able to continue that local networking as well. So it's a great ability to, even though it's virtual, you can still be able to go and network. And one of the biggest, I guess, downsides or complaints that I get, which I guess you would get with any event, is, oh, I'm already going to another event, or oh, I'm already going to be doing something else with my work, and so I don't have the ability or the time to be able to do that. That's the nice thing about this event. Most events, they don't record them and give you access to the recordings. They usually sell you the recordings afterwards, right? So everybody who buys a ticket at this event will get access to all the recordings. And so if you want to go back and watch something again, or if you missed a couple of sessions or whatever, and we're also having 2 rooms in this virtual event going at the same time. So there might be 2 topics that are going on that you might want to know about, but you might have to watch it later. But we're going to have a lot of content packed into this 3-day period of time. And it's one of the best ways to really dive into multifamily, to really understand the different ins and outs, and be able to network with some high-level people like yourself.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. That sounds great. At regular events, I have to pick sometimes between this room and this room. They're talking about topic A, topic B, but here you don't have to pick.
Yeah. Well, Rob, tell the listeners how they can get $100 off to register for the event after watching this live video.
Sure. You can register with my discount code GreenOaks, one word, and that will get you $100 off your ticket.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Rob, for being here with us. For those of you who are listening or watching, go to MFINSummit.com, type in the promo code that he mentioned, get your $100 off. Thank you so much, Rob, for being here. Look forward to having you in January.
Thank you.